Welcome back, Shinha World Resort here in Jeju. We're at the final table.
Which is Ivan Leo, a clear short stack. So I don't expect like Peter Jetton or Andrew Roble, Kenneth Key to kind of splash around until he either doubles or busts.
Yeah.
Kerry Katz is the chip leader. Kenneth Key, runner-up in event number 1. He said he didn't play a tournament for 6 years. Now he has 2 final tables in Triton Hold'em this series.
God, the time pause.
150.
150.
Gonna make 150,000.
Wow. Kings for the short stack. What a great spot for Leo, especially because he's going to get so much extra fold equity with Bachakowski already showing strength.
Ivan picks up pocket kings. In great shape here. Yang here with jacks. I mean, he sees a raise behind him. He's got to let it go. Bachakowski getting a count.
You only put in 15 here.
Did I only put in 15?
I don't. There was only 15 out
I
there.
only put in 15. Will you count it?
605.
605?
605.
Yeah.
And Randy counts.
Must be a real weekend.
Props to Bachakowski for considering this. He gets a really good price.
Definitely the guy you need to jam on.
You count that, please. It's not like I'm happy to call you. Yeah.
It's about as bad as it gets.
So Ivan Leo in great shape here.
Only one flush draw.
It's hard to be pretty behind in this game, but this is one of those spots.
Oh.
So Bachakowski needs to hit a straight. He's a 10.
Never stone that.
No, it's always a sweat.
I cannot call. Mikada behind me.
What do you have?
Pocket jet.
Wow.
Turn is a queen.
Big sweat.
Bachakowski can hit a queen.
It's a bad card for him. Can no longer win the full pot with a 10.
Oh, actually, it was a bad card, huh? It was really a bad card. No, not really.
Cannot call.
Disaster.
So Jetton is actually tied for 7th with Ivan Leo right now. He's just gonna call. I don't think you really want to bloat the pots right now.
So we see the 3 guys with 1.3, 1.3, and 1.4 million. Robo also one of those short stacks, so they have to be really careful. Especially if Leo is one of those stacks. You know he's going to make action regardless.
5 shot.
What?
5 shot. Check.
6-way to the flop.
So that actually, Jetton has the best of this. Oh, Leo with 2 pair, but Jetton has a top pair and a flush draw.
Yeah, and Bachakowski has a jack of clubs. He's first position. He's trying to think, can he semi-bluff this hand? He is going to reach for chips.
Wow.
It's about 80,000.
80.
Ivan Leo bottom 2 pair.
Oh my god, what is he going to do?
He's going to raise here to
Raise.
200,000.
Wow, this might get Jetton out. Jetton has been playing pretty snug.
Jetton has the most equity in his hand 6 ways. 49%. That's actually a massive favorite.
Yeah.
If he can continue here.
I really can't fault him though if he does fold. But it is Ivan Leo.
And he's got the 2nd nut club. He's going to fold.
Wow, what a raise.
So clears out a lot of players. Bachakowski just has king jack high with the jack of clubs. So he's got 43%. He's got to be a little bit worried that Ivan has a better club too in a similar hand. That would be a disaster. Then again, if he can see his opponent's cards, he might want to see a turn card. So he is going to make the call.
Wow.
660,000 in the middle. The turn is a 9. Gives Badziakowski a straight draw by hitting a 10. Looking for a 10 or a club. 29% to win it outright. 11% chance tie. Can Ivan bet here? Protect his hand. Man, this is a very scary board. He's going to bet.
Oh my god. This
Ivan just knows he's shipping in a lot of chips here. 275,000.
This is an incredible bet.
Yeah, a lot of people would just be scared. Like, okay, let me just check the turn and see what happens on the river. Badziakowski is going to lay it down.
Incredible play by Leo there. Bluff.
He just told him it's a bluff.
Bluff.
7 deuce.
7 king.
7 king.
Okay.
I think it's very
Next
believable.
time, Molina.
Okay, you all let me snap call.
King 7, snap call.
I love Ivan Leo.
Oh man, what a character.
Yeah,
And
so he was a short stack of only like 500,000 chips, now in 5th place with his aggressive plays.
yeah.
You can't wait around for Ivan. He's going to chip up.
And this is a problem for Robel and Jetten because they see, all right, this guy's actually going to win pots. And he's so good at this game too. He has the perfect style for Triton.
Ivan calls. Roble Queen Jack offsuit. Very similar stack to Peter Jetten. He's gonna call. Wow, there's so many hands. Graphics are getting smaller.
Young
Richard
with ace
Young.
king.
Yeah, there's a lot of chips in the middle already. Should see Young make a really big raise here.
Yeah, he's the chip leader. He can just go all in if he wants.
So he is reaching for chips.
Wait.
It's gonna make it 340,000. Ace queen suited here under the gun. I mean, when you're near the bottom of the stacks, I don't know if this is a hand you really want to be playing post flop right now. It's a good hand, but on the bubble, man, it's pretty tough. Flop top pair, you might be behind.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, kind of have to play. That's a really good fold. You have to play all in or fold there, I believe, especially with so many people behind you. And Richard Young just doesn't mess around enough also on the button.
So Ivan Leo, Jack 10 suited, would actually be in good shape against Ace King. There's no way Ivan's gonna fold. It's a post flop machine. So Ivan Leo's a coin flip against Richard Young's Ace King. Oh, so Ivan doesn't flop that well. Very vulnerable hand. Richard Young's got a great draw here, ace high flush draw.
Yeah. And even though Ivan has 40%, it's going to be very hard for him to think that it's good.
He is going to make the call. The price is pretty good. They've got deep stacks, so he kind of wants to see if Richard Young will shut down. Maybe he'll hit a 10. A jack would be a bad card. Oh, okay. So it is a 4-heart board. That does save Leo a lot.
Yeah.
Richard Young has the nuts.
And remember, guys, a flush beats a full house. Flushes are harder to make in Triton Hold'em, and a flush beats a full house. So Leo is not going to try and call a good price to make a full house. He's going to try and decide if he's good right now. What a turn.
Yeah, so Richard Young trying to get value out of like a king of hearts. Maybe a set. Wow, Ivan Leo calls her with Jack 10. He just doesn't believe that someone would bet the ace of hearts on his turn card. River is an 8. So Ivan calls the turn, trying to freeze up Young from potentially bluffing him off of his hand. Young sitting there with the nuts. 600,000. It's a small bet. Just trying to get hero called. Ivan, like, he knew he was behind. It's like the turn was to call, just like, okay, I'll never get bluffed. And he shows the hand.
Everything.
Yeah.
The new chip leader.
Yep.
So Ivan having a swingy final table. You had 2.5 million, down to 1.4. He also had 500,000. Rollable ace 10 suited. Is this a spot where he thinks he can chip up? Does have multiple players behind him and a guy who limped in front of him. He's gonna go for it.
Do it.
I don't fault him at all.
No. Oh, Young and ace queen. Oh my god.
Man. Roble at risk here on the money bubble. If he busts, he will receive $0. Everyone else is excited.
做嘢啊你啊！啊，
呢
做嘢啊！邊女啊？啊！你 set call 嘛？等我入埋嚟啊！
Richard Young
我煙女都未停牌，我仲想你入埋嚟。
putting Roble at risk. Here comes the flop.
嚟咗。
It's a queen.
It's a queen.
Need jack of diamonds for a sweat.
Roble
Fuck you.
Just for a sweat.
8%.
Serious?
You always need a sweat.
Okay.
That's boring.
Why would you
That's a full house. So Roble is eliminated on the money bubble. In 7th place, he receives $0. That's brutal.
Wow.
He played great. I don't fault his play at all. There's high-fiving around the table. 6 players remaining. Everyone guaranteed 451,000 USD.
我係 D 開咩牌啊 ？D 開煙女啱啱到啊！得。
Bazikowski
500,000.
makes it 500,000. That is a huge raise.
500,000.
Kenneth Key's got to be loving this.
500.
Kenneth Key quickly shoves.
Oh, yeah. Count,
You need
please.
the
Inside the clock.
Bazikowski of ace jack of diamonds.
Robo.
That's so bad.
He's already put in 500,000 chips. He's going to make the call here, putting Kenneth Key at risk. $3.7 million chips in the middle. Kenneth Key needs to dodge an ace.
You have an ace?
Ace jack on the flop. Kenneth Key needs a king or 10. 33% chance of doing it. Turn is a 6. One more card to go, or Kenneth Key will be out in 6th place. River card's a 10. Kenneth Key is going to double up to 3.7 million chips, and Mikita Bazikowski is going to send over a ton of chips here. He's in 5th place out of 6 players. Going to shove all in here. He knows he needs to pick up some chips. Richard Young with Jack 10 suited. It's a pretty good hand. He knows Jetton's been a little bit tighter at this final table. He's going to make the call.
Richard is taking care of everyone.
So Peter Jetton at risk against Richard Young.
I let people join in the all in one. So we shut you out.
Jetton didn't want to see this call by Jack 10 with these pay
I had
jumps.
Queen Jack, by the way. So like, oh, so many outs. Got in from each side. Oh
So
wow.
Jetton flops a flush draw.
It should be 8 on the turn. Always for a sweat.
I would settle for that. That's a pretty good one.
Oh yeah.
Turn is an 8, so Richard Young has
So now
36%.
it's 7, Queen.
Looking for a 7, 10, Jack, or Queen. That isn't a spade. That's not going to do it.
King high.
Queen high winner.
So King High is going to win this pot. Jetton doubles up to 2 million in chips. Young here of 10-8. Looks like he's going to fold.
How much that?
Key. This is not that big of a shove, so Kenneth Key might be enticed to make a call here.
Yeah, there's 200,000 in the middle also.
Yeah, and he's got 3.2 million. Even if he's behind, he's not far behind.
Okay. No. So, okay.
So Kenneth Key of ace-10 suited.
Okay.
Looks like he's going to make the call here. So Ivan Leo is at risk.
Fair fight. That hand's unbeatable at this table. King High is not going to take it this time.
All right, so I really like from these tournaments, everybody gives their opinion about what's going to happen, what they want to see happen.
That's a funny one.
Too fair,
Yeah.
man.
Ivan Leo looking for a king or a 10.
It's actually decent reward.
Turns to
Oh.
king.
Oh,
Wow,
It's a
what
club.
action card.
Wow, Key has
Seven.
Way too
46%.
many outs. No chance.
No chance,
no,
they
you
say.
think it. Come on.
It's just too many outs. You got to get like a red 6 on the river.
Whatever comes, I'm
46%.
happy to be here.
Oh, that's so nice, McKee.
Records a
Oh.
7. That is a straight for Kenneth Key. Ivan Leo eliminated from the tournament in 6th place. It's going to receive 451,000
It's time for me
USD.
to go now, huh?
2 final tables
no,
for him
I'll
this
be
series
first
in
ninja.
Triton Hold'em. He
Gonna
won
survive.
event number 2 for 1,080,000.
Peter, how
Another
much you have?
450,000. So pocket aces, setting the trap. Pocket
Oh
kings.
my god.
Badzikowski's in trouble.
Wow.
Badzikowski's thinking, man, I just got to move all in here.
Wow. The perfect limp trap. Although it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah,
Even
it
if he
wouldn't
raised.
matter. That is true.
400,000.
Again, same move. Oh my god, Jetton with queens.
Pocket queens.
What is this?
So sick.
5.
This is a disaster.
Jetton thinks he's ahead of Badzikowski. He's not really worried about Key because he just limped under the gun. So from Jetton's point of view, he thinks he's up against 1 million chips at most that he's putting at risk. He's going to go all in with pocket queens.
myself.
Kenneth Key with pocket aces. It's got the best hand, 57% three-way.
That's 1 million, right? 2.
About 2 over million.
I think he's all in. Did you say you were all in? Yeah. Yeah, he's all in.
Ah, yeah.
Kenneth
Wow.
Key is all in.
Now I could be folding
No,
some
you
hands,
can't,
but
you
not
can't
this
fold
one.
now. No way.
Badzikowski with pocket
unfortunately.
kings. Gonna
Oh,
make the
make the
call
call.
here. Three-way all in.
Yeah. Is it really?
Wow.
Any king?
No, I had 6-7.
No.
All of a sudden, the action was tight, and now all of a sudden,
What a
everyone
setup, huh?
all in. Three-way all
You
in
gotta fold that.
Yeah.
on the final table.
Wait. One flush draw. There you go. You're good.
2? Oh, yeah, just
Oh
one.
my god, I can't
I
believe
mean,
it.
Nice.
1 king is enough, you know?
No flush draws for the queens.
Oh,
Oh, you got the flush draw.
look at
Wow,
Kenneth
but you
Key's
got one of your
face.
outs.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You've got too many outs now.
Badzikowski looking
It's
for a
fair.
club.
No club, I win, you win. Oh, you're not.
No, club. You're both alive when the club comes.
Nothing's fair in this world.
Oh, there's such a major difference.
Turn is an 8. Kenneth Key needs to dodge. He's got 70% here. River
does
card's an
it.
8. Kenneth
Wow.
Key, double knockouts. Badzikowski and Jetton.
That is unbelievable, and because Badzikowski had the shorter stack, that means that he will finish in 5th place,
Degen food.
That's
whereas
right.
Peter Jetton will finish in 4th place. So Badzikowski receiving 588,000 for 5th place, and Peter Jetton $802,000.
Now 3.
Fourth.
That is a huge pay jump right there.
Yeah.
Is it free?
If Badziakowski actually somehow folded, he would be the one that gets the pay jump.
Yeah. Just the volatility of this game.
So 3 players remaining. Everyone with a ton of chips.
Oh, look at this flop. See, the problem here is a little bit that ace-9 is very hard to play on the turn here. Anything from a king, well, an ace seems good. He has top 2 pair, but Cats actually makes a flush. So Cats is the 100% because a flush beats a boat, so an ace or 9 is not going to cut it for Young. Insta calls. That really is an action killer for Cats. But there's already 1.7 million in the pot. I really like his bet sizing here, not too big. That's a third of the pot. There's still some bluffs possible. Think about a hand like King Jack with a spade. It's a very good bluffing hand on the turn. That's a good fold. Good fold by Young, but you kind of see the problem of calling with a hand there on the flop. It's a little bit more conventional from a no-limit hold'em strategy point of view, right? Like you have second pair, really good kicker. But in this game, there's no deuce or 3 on the turn, so every turn is going to be a scare card. So you're much better off calling with a hand like the gut shot a few hands ago. Check that, really strong. So the way this works is
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were calling.
the
Sorry about that.
button pays a double ante, everybody else plays a single ante, so you need to complete to the double ante.
The 1 ante.
Okay, sorry about that.
Wow, we got some real hands here. Jack 10 is one of the strongest hands in this game. 10-9, pretty strong as well. I think there's a big chance that Young's gonna come along here, but he has been making some snug folds. Maybe it depends if he finished his food. He does come along, and I can tell you one thing, he's gonna come along as well.
Sorry, can you pass me that?
Yeah.
Thanks.
3, please.
I was gonna say that Young gets the best of it, but he doesn't. Cats has 50% equity, Young with 28, Key with 30, straight up gutter. So Young doesn't want to see an 8 here.
500.
Cats betting 500,000. Now the problem is his equity is really good, but if the turn is a king or a queen, he's not gonna be too pleased, and he's gonna have to fold a lot of rivers. So he tries to take the pot down right here. Young's not gonna have any of that. Let's see what Key does here. He knows that gut shots are really strong, but what he has to wonder now, what's going through his head as well, is would Young possibly have an 8 here? That would take away a lot of his outs. Gets out of the way, and that's gonna increase Young's equity by a lot, I can tell you. Because now an 8 all of a sudden is an out. There you go, 43%. Wow, and we know that the jack is missing, so this could be a very seemingly safe card. I mean, compared to the rest of the board, to a 10, an 8, an ace, king, queen, all that stuff. So I don't think that Cats is really going to be. Well, of course, it goes through his head. Somebody can have a 9, but all things considered, he could very well still have the best hand. I really like that Young doesn't slow play this. Get some money in that pot. I'm pretty impressed with that fold. Everybody's got a pretty decent hand here. But Key can bump it up on the button if he wants. King Jack's pretty good. It's tough to play against two people though. Especially because you're going to flop a lot of top pairs also. And top pairs in this game are just headaches.
$400. 4.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so usually pair versus overcards, the overcards are going to be a favorite. It's really crazy. With 7s and 8s, if you're up against a hand like King Jack suited, you're actually 2-to-1 dog, so you only have 35%. And everybody gets a piece of this. Cats with the worst of it.
Sorry, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
He has a pretty good hand. He's gonna take it easy with this one. So that improves Cats. He now has a flush draw. All his 5 clubs are live. Young makes a straight. So even without a 10, he would have a straight. He has a brilliant hand here. 600,000. About half pot. He has a pretty reasonable bluff catcher. He's gonna do it. He's gonna get the bad news. That's Young back in a chip lead. I kind of feel if somebody would just start randomly 3-betting hands, randomly opening 6 times the ante, the big ante, I really feel somebody could just run the table over right now.
Yeah. Just someone needs to start. If someone starts to trend, like, you can actually just pick up a ton of antes, I believe. It's still pretty hard to get a good hand in this game, like a really good hand.
Yeah. I mean, anything you want to play, make it 400. I think that's a really reasonable strategy at this point. I don't think people are going to mess around. Like Young, like you said, obviously wants to grind it out a little bit. Cats might feel like he still has a big stack, but he doesn't want to get too short.
Yeah, Kerry Cats earlier when it was a full table was making it like 400,000, and everyone just respected it. So ace queen here. See how these players adapt. So 300,000 here, ace queen. I like the bigger raising given how deep they are. You're out of position. Jack 8 suited. I'm gonna call here. Got 660,000 in the middle. So Kerry Cats flops a straight draw. Key has a straight draw as well. Looking for an 8. I like the bet from Kerry Cats. You just gotta bet. Try to get your opponent to fold like ace highs, king highs, queen highs.
3% off sale.
All right then.
Yeah, it's a sale. It's telling Key to call here. Just gonna lay that one down. Gonna take a flop.
Want to flop.
Yeah, Kerry Katz flops a draw to the nut straight, but Kenneth Key has flopped a straight. 6, 7, 8, 9 ace. I don't blame Kerry Katz for firing here. His opponent can easily have like queen jack, king queen, better hands that will fold. Key just calling here with the straight. Turns a 10. He's got a flush draw now.
I think Katz is going to be reasonably pleased with that. He feels like he still beats ace 8, queen 8, those sort of hands.
This is a very connected board. Kerry Katz trying to think, what could Key have? He's going to check.
That's a straight. Sorry, that's a flush for Key. He already had a straight. I like the check though. It's not a great card. If he bets, it's gonna look very strong.
Seven, 7-5.
Make a pretty large bet. Really just hope Katz has something to bluff catch with.
Kerry Katz, Jack 10. Just trying to create some bluffs for Key. Having some trouble thinking of them.
Yeah, spades do miss, but wouldn't Key bet spades on the turn on a perfect fold, like a nice fold?
Kenneth Key is chipping up here.
Alright, let's go. Wow, strong hands here. This could go 3-way to the flop. There we go. Just like that. Young is gonna need one of those jacks. Curious to see Key. We've seen a lot of the more aggressive players use exactly this hand to continuation bet bluff with, because it's very unlikely somebody has to set a queens, king queen, or queen 8, and Key's just gonna do that. I really like this bet. I mean, there's so many, like, you know, 10-9s, 8-7s that you're gonna be up against. Even king jack is in a really tough spot. Yeah, great play. Great play. There we go. Young now calling in a cutoff with queen jack. These hands are close to a flip, but initiative can never be discounted, and initiative belongs to the one who raised pre-flop. Not on that board though, but still not a bad flop for Kerry Katz. Look at this, 32%. He's gonna check it. It's Kerry Katz's first time playing Triton Hold'em, but he has shown pretty good understanding of the power of gut shots. I like it. Can still rep a lot of pairs, aces, kings. Wow, that's it for Young though. Gets a check mark. Let's see if he's gonna debate him by checking, but this looks so good if you haven't played a pot in a while. Looks like he's gonna bet 825.
So Carry Cat's going to limp here under the gun. Well, Richard Young pummeling with 10-9 suited. Carry Cat's is getting a little bit shorter, so these pots are super important. He's putting 450,000. He's only got 2.7 million behind.
It's the shorter he gets, the easier these hands are to play actually, because he can just, if he flops top pair, can just go for it.
Well, he flops middle pair. Well, Young's flop middle pair. Carry Cats actually has a draw to the nuts if he can hit a 10. Carry Cats are going to check. Richard Young's going to continuation bet. I mean, it's a big pot. It makes sense for him to try and take down this flop. Carry Cats is 44% against 10-9 right now. He makes the call. Looking for a queen, a jack, or a 10, but 10 exactly would be the best card for him. Turns a 9. Trip 9s for Richard Young here. Carry Cats drawing dead because of 10, although it would give him a straight, would give Richard Young a full house. 1.7 million chips in the middle. Richard Young is going to put his opponent all in. Denies, well, I mean, technically his opponent was drawing dead, but Carry Cats is only down to 2.3 million chips.
What's really interesting, I think, about this three-handed and also the seven-handed that we've seen today is that you really see that there's a lot of depth to this game and a lot of strategy. The earlier events have much faster structures, and people are saying it was just all in all the time, but it's just like because it was a hyper turbo. And now there's so much strategy and so many flops, but you can still play a lot of hands. So this is just, I think it's an awesome game. So you could just play this in turbo and regularly as well.
Ken of Key of pocket queens. Betting here. Richard Young lays down the straight draw. Just doesn't want to get in a big confrontation right now.
Cat's first act.
So Young, 7, Jack 7 of clubs, going to raise it up. Ken of Key with King Queen suit. He's got position, a good hand. Gonna see a flop here.
It's a great flop for Key. It's always, even though there's trips out there, it's always just kind of nice when you have top pair on this board. It's a big difference between Queen 9-7, Queen 9-8. On Queen 9-7, so many hands have a lot of equity against you.
So goes check, check. Young probably thinks he's got to bet the hand. Does fire. It's a good spot for Kenneth Key. He just keeps the pot small and he gets his opponent to bluff. He's got top boat. So Key makes the call. Key cannot lose this pot unless he folds. Her card's an 8. Richard Young checks. Pretty much looking to check fold. You know, he took his stab pre-flop, took his stab on a turn. And once your opponent calls on a turn, you just really got to give it up. So the hand's over pretty quickly.
Good pot there for Key. Create some distance. Amazing. Raise to 500, some real hands here. So the button ante is 120, so this is a 4 times raise. And I kid you not, these hands were folded all the time yesterday, so I think that people really got tired and play slowed down a lot, but that's fine, you know. These guys have been grinding also for 13 hours, and it's such a big buy-in. And that was already at the day 2 of the event, so Kenneth Key has been firing all week. Richard Young playing all kinds of action everywhere. But it really looks like everybody's fresh and ready to go now. So this is already something, like we said with the ace-9, this is something that we haven't seen yesterday. Very aggressively using hands with good high cards, an ace, you know. Such a smaller chance that somebody else has a good ace, but not this time. We're gonna go 3-way. Gotta watch though. So the rules of this game, just to go over them quickly. The deuces, 3s, 4s, and 5s are gone from the deck. And wow, what a flop here. An ace can function both as the high card ace and as a 5. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is a straight. And a flush beats a full house because flushes are harder to hit. We barely ever see a flush. I think we saw maybe 4 yesterday. So Young with a big bet here. This is a massive pot already. This is the biggest pot we've seen in a while in the tournament. That includes yesterday. Already 3.3 million going to the turn. So keep picking off a card here. Maybe he's worried that he's looking too strong if he raises. He also had cats behind him, of course. Oh my god. That is crazy. That's the best. That's the dream card. That's even better than an ace.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to blame Young if he wants to get all the chips in here.
Yeah.
Sometimes you look for a card on flop, you hit the gin card, you're never trying to get away from it. You're just thinking, how can I get maximum value? Of course, his opponent could have like ace queen, ace king. So Key, this is one of those boards there's no flush draws, so he can't represent a ton of draws besides like queen 10. So that's why you see this like not full pot size bet. So Young makes the call. Still got 3.3 million behind.
There's no flush possible on this board either, so.
Oh,
oof, that
actually is going to save Richard Young because now has been counterfeited. Ace queen and ace king would beat him now.
Nobody's going to be too worried about 7-9. Pot way too big for that.
Kenneth Key here, top full house. Ace jack, just gonna reach for a lot of chips. Bets 2 million.
I really like that. Wow.
Yeah, quick laydown.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack.
Shows him. Sign of respect.
That's
He's gonna go aggressive here. I think he just knows that carry cats doesn't punish limps that much. So 500, there's already a million chips in the middle.
Wow.
So Kenneth Key flops middle pair, top kicker, carry cats of top pair. This is one of those boards where you might have the best hand, but then again, if you're behind, you're not in great shape. So throw some chips out there, see what happens. The carry cats here. You got 1.7 million chips. Seems quite committing. I feel like carry cats is deciding, should he shove all in now, try to shut out his opponent from equity,
All in.
or maybe call and see what happens. He does shove all in. So 1 million chips more to Kenneth Key. It's going to make the call here. The pot odds are just too good. So carry cats is going to be at risk.
Key's still 30%.
Yeah, I think you can't blame Kenneth Key. His opponent just wasn't that deep post flop. 29% chance for Kenneth Key to knock out carry cats. Turn cards is 7. Ace or queen will finish carry cats off. 10. Carry cat's gonna double here.
4.5 million puts him in second.
Yeah. I like that carry cats didn't re-raise all in pre-flop because he just probably had no fold equity. You can kind of just see what happens on a flop. He's got the chip lead. He's probably gonna get a lot of fold equity pre-flop. I like this raise. Force your opponents to play big pots when they have short stacks. Richard Young gonna call here with Jack 10. They're practically flipping 52 versus 47%. Kenneth Key flops top pair, top kicker. He's going to check. Richard Young, open-ended straight draw, 42%. He's going to fire just 200,000. Hoping his opponent just check folds. Like an ace-king, ace-jack, ace-10 type hand. He really doesn't need to bet too much to get that to happen. So Kenneth Key is going to shove all in. Richard Young makes the call, so there's going to be an all-in and a call here. Richard Young is at risk. 42% equity. Seems pretty standard here, right, Lex?
Yeah, I think so too. These are just really strong hands, and I mean, everybody comments too. Like, what are all these straights? They're just so common. Open end straight draw, super strong.
Turn card is a 6. 29% for Richard Young. Needs an 8 or a king, or he's eliminated at third place. Third card's a jack. So Richard Young eliminated in third place for 1.162 million USD. Wow, Richard Young was in dominating chip lead position at one point in his tournament. He's now out in third.
You don't need to know my count anymore.
I do actually.
No, you just take 18 million and you subtract out what you have. Right?
It's easier to count.
It's going heads up soon.
No. 我跟他肯定不谈啊。啊。
Alright, and Key has top pair, but cats with the aces. He's gonna feel pretty decent about his hand. He has running clubs. He got jack too, and the 10 is definitely capable of making some interesting draws on the turn. A really strong hand to have.
Pocket aces. Yeah, Kenneth Key here. You got top pair. It's hard to fold, so you can't blame him for the call here. River card is a queen. Board's getting a little bit dicey. But, I mean, if you got pocket aces and heads up, just got a value bet here. Even if your opponent has king, queen, you're ahead.
It does. Key has an interesting blocker. He blocks the straight, he blocks flushes with the 10, and he has a top pair hand, so he blocks a lot of important full houses. This is a pretty tough situation for him. He's getting a pretty good price. He's getting 3-1 on his money. That means he only has to be right 1 out of 4 times to break even.
So some things Kenneth Key probably think about is, would Carry Cats bet a hand like King 10 and King Jack himself?
Wow!
I was going to check raise.
Oh
now,
my god.
This is a bluff.
Yeah, this is a bluff. This is incredible. This is the mark of a good player. Where you think like, oh, should I call? Should I fold?
Wow, he's going to lay it down.
What
The
a
pocket
move.
aces. Pocket 10's in good shape here pre-flop. Carry Cats needs some help here. Only 22% to win outright. Your Kenneth Key here. We've got pocket 10s. I like the bet because there's a lot of bad turn cards you can get for free, like a Jack, Queen, or King. While Carry Cats calling her
Sorry.
10-8 high.
Yeah, he figures maybe I'll have some outs against the 7. If it comes to 6 or 9, I'll have some straight draws.
He also
You have to make it 120 minimum.
Okay.
he possibly also thinks that Kenneth Keys will just stab this paired board of ace, 2 aces, like with anything. I don't mind the float, actually.
I mean, you have to do it once in a while. I think, wow, that's a really nice turn. I think that what's a very important piece of information is here, I don't think that Key expects him to float with a hand like this.
That is true, so it should get a lot more credit. Then again, Kenneth Key might just put his opponent on a 7. Kenneth Key here. Just thinking about, does his opponent have an ace, or does he have a 7? Or just random cards? He's going to bet again, it looks like. Nice.
Yeah, good read.
Well, it's hard to get 2 streets of value of pocket 10s, but Kenneth Key is trying to do that. Probably thinks that Cats would raise a good amount of aces when limped pre-flop. But it's got to be scary. You got Carry Cats calling the flop and turn bet. Now you're wondering, does he actually have an ace?
He went from 8% to 30. Oh, he gets there.
River is a straight.
Wow.
He only had 8% on the flop.
Yeah. And Key's not going to see this one coming as much, but do remember that an 8 makes a straight as well, so this is a reasonable scary board for Key. But he does block the nuts.
Carry Cats just going for any kind of value, hoping an ace with side call. Gotta have a lot of imagination to think your pocket 10s are good here. He called the flop bet, calls the turn bet. It pretty much needs to be a float on the flop.
Yeah.
Like 10 Jack that didn't raise.
Never bluff you, Kenneth.
Wow, he told me he'll never bluff him. Oh, that what gets him to call.
That is so funny.
Wow.
He talks him into it. It has to be some part of that he said that.
Insta call when
Insta
said.
call.
Okay, let me make sure you'll never bluff me. Yeah, you're telling the truth.
I was gonna call regardless.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, save some face, Kenneth Key.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's like pre-flop all-in's equity is a little bit different, but if you're gonna call a big raise or a big 3-bet, that's the guy you're looking for.
That's the hand.
Yeah, that's the one.
So Carry Cats in commanding position pre-flop. Pocket 9s.
Water on the cards there.
So we see people when it's full ring shove a lot with, sometimes with 50 antes even, but the difference here is that there's less antes out there to win, so you can't do that heads up.
Carry cats, just taking aggression at pocket nines.
I like it.
It's hard to play post flop.
2
I
minutes
like
to your
it.
smoke break.
Yeah, it's hard to play post flop pocket nines. It makes sense just to try and take it down pre-flop.
Yeah. Cat's really funny. I like these very polite, small little digs that he makes. It's very fun. It's so obvious that it's in good nature, but it's still fun, you know, for the table talk and for the atmosphere at the table.
Seems to always get Kenneth Key to continue. The 8-9 offsuit going in there. 840,000 in the middle. Kenneth Key flops an open-ended straight draw, looking for a 6 or a jack. This is a tough hand for Carry Cats. He was hoping just to take it down pre-flop. Now he's in a spot where he's probably going to bet and just hope his opponent folds. Bets 575,000. Kenneth Key here can put a lot of pressure with a check raise.
Yep.
45% equity. He's got a ton of fold equities. I don't know how pocket nines could even call you if you check raise.
Yeah. Even against trip sevens, he would be doing pretty good.
Yeah. And again, your opponent probably doesn't have trip sevens because he raised you pre-flop.
Yeah.
It's not raising 7-9, 7-8. Kenneth Key's just going to call here. Still going to be very hard for Carry Cats to win unless he hits a 9.
Yeah. In Carry Cats' eyes, this is even scarier.
Yeah, this is super scary.
Oh, he gets there.
So straight for Kenneth Key. Carry Cats does have the straight blockers. So that actually kind of implies your opponent usually has a 10. It's going to check it back. River card is a 10. A little bit scary for Kenneth Key. You don't really like to see an obvious full house on the board when you got a straight. He's going to go for some value. It's hard to get bluffed on this spot too, so checking doesn't really accomplish much. So he's going to fire 500,000. Just hoping his opponent maybe has like, I don't know, like pocket jacks, something that can just call. This is an amazing price for Carry Cats, but he's thinking, what do I beat? Jack 9, Jack. I'm holding 2 9s.
Yeah.
Jack 8. That's about it.
Yeah, this is tough.
Yeah, just good time to use some time extensions. This pot is super important.
It really is. Yeah, this is such a turning point in the tournament, possibly.
Carry Cat sees 500,000 in front of him. He's thinking, if my opponent was bluffing, would he only bet 500,000 chips? It's hard to say.
Only thing I can beat is 8 jack.
Oh, yeah, he said it.
He even didn't say
Maybe
Jack
eights.
9 because he's got 2
You wouldn't
9s.
bet eights.
Use the time bank chip. So Carry Cats puts his opponent only on Jack 8 if he wins. Price is so good. Would Kenneth Key bluff this way with Jack 8 just for 500,000 chips? That's what he's thinking about right now. Nice
Wow.
laydown.
Good fold. He was so close. Great bet sizing there by Key if you can make your opponent sweat that hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Carrie.
You got it. Well, since I'm taking a break, did you have a 10 that hand?
No, I had straight.
Oh,
8, 9.
really? I had 9s. I had your blockers.
Nice guys, both honest.
Yeah, I like it.
Nice hand.
So it looks like they're going to a little
Yeah, I don't even know if you call the
short break.
It's hard to call the flop with a
Yeah.
10 on that. They have an overpair.
So you're gonna have a small bathroom break.
Yeah, small bathroom break. Playing for 1.1 million US dollars.
Alright.
This is event number 4.
3 million for Carry Cats. Wow,
Wow.
these are two massive hands.
Jack 10 suited versus pocket queens. It's all in
Oh
a
my
call.
god, just like that?
First hand. Oh my, Ken
Yeah.
of Key. A pretty solid favorite right now.
These are two monsters in Triton Hold'em, so there's no surprise this is going to come to a big clash right off the bat here.
Carry Cats needs to pick up a straight or some pair outs. Otherwise, it's going to be out in second place.
Yeah, he really doesn't like seeing those queens. Oh my god, look at that.
So Carry Cats can hit an 8 or a queen, but not the queen. No diamond.
Yeah.
24%. Comes the
That's
turn
definitely
card.
some life.
It's a 6. Carry Cats at risk here. It's a good time to root for your cards.
Yeah. Doesn't
king.
do it.
Kenneth Key eliminates Carry Cats. Carry Cats is going to get second place for 1.773 million USD. Kenneth Key's the champion here.
Wow.
Amazing play. Carry Cats, this is the first time he played Triton Hold'em. He gets second place, cashes for 1.773 million USD. You got to feel pretty good as one of the less experienced players in this game. Wow, that's amazing. Kenneth Key, 22,500,000 Hong Kong dollars. He played amazing. What can I
Yeah.
say?
Yeah, it's just like in the time where you barely saw him, it was with 9 or 7 people left, but there were short stacks at the table. Ivan Leo was making all the action, and he was sitting on 2 million. He was just like, all right, guys, you guys battle it out, which is exactly what you should do in a tournament. And then obviously, you know, he had that great hand knocking out both Peter Jedden and Bajakowski with aces versus queens and kings respectively. But you need hands like that. But he showed so much hearts, so many bluffs, so many small moves. I mean, look at that King 10 that he played in the heads up. That's just the markings of a great player that really picks his spots.
Yeah, it was like perfect timing. I mean, Carry Cats didn't even think about it. It was like, I know you got me beat. Pitch my aces, but he actually was ahead. Carry Cats, you got to hand it to him. Still winning 14 million Hong Kong dollars, 1.773 million USD.